Okay, I am live. Um, it took forever to go live. What's up, Eddie? How's everything? Hope you're still waiting here. Um, we are going to react to this video real quick. This is a good video. This is Elmer O. Locker Jr. This guy, um, from what I've seen, he explains Neville Goddard's works the best, I would say. At least the most easily digestible. Obviously, there's so much depth to Neville Goddard because it's a more personal journey. It's a more personal perspective. So that's it. Like you really like what one person perceives something to be is going to be completely different for someone else. But I think he breaks down the principles in a way that make it so you don't have to read the books at all. You can just listen to this guy and you'll get the exact same effects. Oh, the soda that you got last week is in my fridge. Yeah, I saw it the other day. I was like, damn. But yeah, um, we'll start watching. I think I reacted to
What
this
if I
guy at some point. I just don't remember exactly when. Okay.
were to tell you that you can manifest any desire to come into your life within the simulation? Because you're living in a simulation right now. It's a high tech simulated game that's controlled by you tricking yourself to believe that you already have something when you don't actually have it yet. This is what I'm going to teach you how to do in this video because this is how you manipulate and control the simulation.
So what he's talking about is called the law of assumption. Oh, actually, so the law of assumption is basically different from the law of attraction because it's the belief that when you assume a feeling state, it's much more powerful and it solidifies in your unconscious, your subconscious, and these begin to affect who you project yourself to be in the world, the opportunities that begin to come to you. And it's like there's something to be said about the power of positive thinking, but it's positive thinking with feeling states, which really make a difference because it's one thing to say positive affirmations all day, but it's another to feel it. Like at a certain baseline level, your mind is turning these words into feeling states, and you could just have the feeling state, and it's so much more meaningful, so much more powerful. Hold on, I didn't send a notification in Discord yet. Oh wait, it did.
You don't try to trick the subconscious mind. The subconscious mind is non selective and impersonal, but you convince yourself consciously to believe that you already have your desires. Your desires are already met. You're not waiting for something to happen within the simulation for you to feel a
Who are you talking about, Zachariah? Pick pick your words.
certain way. You start to feel a certain way before you actually get that thing. And that's what attracts it to you because the simulation is actually dual natured. It's controlled by a conscious part and then the subconscious part. But you are in control of the conscious part. And that's everything that the subconscious mind.
So even if you don't believe in the mystical nature of the law of assumption, I mean, if you're a religious person, you do because in the Bible it says, "As man seeketh in his heart, so he hath shall be." Something along the lines of that. It's Old English. I don't know how to say it exactly, but the Bible will say time and time again, "The kingdom of heaven is within you." Basically, it's saying that we have the functions and the capabilities to create whatever we want. We just have to open ourselves up to this possibility. And I like to see it as any great work of art, any great work of anything. It's not the human being doing it. It's God speaking through them. It's the creative forces. It's the collective unconscious, whatever you want to call it. That's the idea of creativity. And when you open yourself up to thinking from the end, this is when you get the most creativity. Like don't even worry about the physical changes. Don't even worry about, making $1 million. Just feel like you already can because when you think from the state that you're already worthy of it, that's when you're going to get the idea. That's when the thing is going to pop into your head. But the reason why you're stuck wherever you are right now is because you have ideas of wherever you are right now. You're setting yourself in the idea of someone who is lacking, someone who is not capable. I mean, I've used this example so many times, but Michael Jordan thought he was the best basketball player ever before he was. And it's like that belief way before you really have a right to have that belief is what carries you to the top. What gives you the motivation, what gives you the inspiration, what gives you the ideas, what gives you the drive and the purpose behind things. Because all creativity is present moment awareness and taking action with that state. And when you have those two things combined, you're basically unstoppable.
mind feels, and then it generates that back out into the simulation for tomorrow, next week, and next month. But what are you conscious of? And you have this ability to persuade yourself to believe certain things and trick yourself to have certain emotions and certain feeling states that you have already acquired.
William James, the father of American psychology, said that attitudes are more important than facts, meaning that the way you interpret things, the way you perceive things, the way you internalize things is so much more important than what actually happened. And this is because for the rest of your life, you're either going to see this as a good thing or a bad thing, and you're going to linger on it and you're going to fixate on it. And you want to you want to give yourself the best outcome. You want to give yourself the best shot to succeed in life. And you're not doing that by holding on to negative emotions. You're not doing that by holding on to fear, anxiety, doubt, any of these things. Because when you hold on to fear, anxiety, doubt, guess what? When the time comes for you to do something, when the time comes for you to step up to that plate, guess what you're feeling? Fear, anxiety, doubt. Where if you have a calm presence, a confidence about you, even like an arrogance about you, this is when you're going to knock it out of the park. And this is why it's so, so important to just drop everything. Drop your entire life, drop your entire sense of self. If you don't like who you are today, change it. Change the things you're telling yourself. Change the language you describe things in. Like, if you're fixated on the word failure, change it to opportunity. Every time you fail, you just missed an opportunity. Every time you fail, you have an opportunity to grow, an opportunity to learn. Like it's all about the things we tell ourselves, the emotions we choose to feel that determine everything else about this.
A desire that you're trying to manifest, and you'll start to notice glitches within the simulation that start to mirror this back to you. And this is actually the real way to use the mirror principle, because the reflection from the subconscious and the conscious part is just being pushed out within the simulation and mirroring back to you your identity of who you are. But you're in control of this internal reflection, the internal reflection with.
When he says identity, what he means is who you perceive yourself to be. Um, I'll use the Bible again. The Bible says the kingdom of heaven is within you, meaning that we have access to the infinite, meaning that we're limitless beings, limiting ourselves. And your identity is who you project yourself to be in society, who you believe yourself to be based off of your experiences, what people have told you, all the extenuating factors that have happened to you throughout your life. And when you start to make changes to this identity, when you start to make changes to this sense of self, when you begin to transcend your old self, this is when your life begins to change. And it's not just about, like I said earlier, it's not just about material things, it's about spiritual things. It's about liking the person who you are. It's about celebrating the person who you are. Like what good is it to have all the money in the world if you don't like yourself? What good is it to do anything if you despise the person that you're becoming? It's like it's really just a simple decision to start being who you are. I mean, I know this is lending more to Jungian psychology, but at the same time, it's just so important. Who you choose to be, who you project yourself to be, is who you become. And right now, many people are allowing themselves to be projected by others. Whatever someone perceives me to be, that's who I am. That's not how it should be, and that's never how it should be. Your perception of me is not my reality. Start saying that to yourself and start accepting your own goddamn reality. Start accepting your own sense of self, who you want to be. If you've been known as the untalented, unfunny person your whole life, cool. That was yesterday. What the fuck are you gonna be today? And start thinking of these new states. Start thinking these new ideas, and you can change who you are. I know it sounds so simplistic, but like ditching your past and becoming your future is it's just a cheat code. You write your own script. I don't know what else to say aside from that.
within yourself that's then programmed within the subconscious and pushed out. So the simulation is just a reflection of who you are within yourself on the mirror principle. But as you convince yourself of a new belief, even if it's a short temporary time, but you wind up falling asleep with this feeling and convincing yourself 100% that you now have something you didn't have 5 minutes ago, even though the simulation hasn't given you that. That's when the simulation has no choice but to mirror that identity back to you. So it's about concepts of self, you changing your concept of yourself within and believing now, even if it's a short amount of time, but there's a certain moment in time that you have to carry this feeling state over. So once you carry this feeling state over,
Or you, the more you persist in a state of consciousness, the more you persist in, he's calling it a feeling state, the more it becomes solidified. So when you first start trying to do this, when you first start trying to fall asleep in the end, your mind is going to kind of try to reject it because I think you've lived your entire life believing certain things. Like you've grown up and every single thought has been fixated on lack, on how you don't have this, how you don't have this, how you're stressed out about money, how you don't know how to pay this bill. Like that's where you've been your entire life. It's going to be counterintuitive for you to start telling yourself that like, wow, I can really create whatever opportunity that, I'm looking for. I can really do this, I can really do that. Like it's going to be damn near impossible to do it, but the more you persist at it, the more you continue to do it, like the more it begins to solidify in your mind and you become a new person. Like the greatest thing about this idea is that you become the person that you want to be. Like one of my goals obviously is like to blow up this channel. And it's like 3 4 months ago before I really started studying this stuff, like I was someone that was being like, wow, in a year I'm gonna have all of this, in a year I'm gonna have all this. And instead of persisting in that idea, like in my mind, I'm already good enough to have every single success I want. In my mind, I'm already good enough to have all these things. And this is what opens me up to new ideas. This is what opens me up to, streaming in this way more often, doing other things, making certain decisions based off of the fact that in my mind, I already have these things. In my mind, I'm already capable of these things. And I've become a different person simply by accepting a new state of consciousness, a new feeling state, a new idea of myself. And once it solidifies, it's a beautiful feeling. The person you see today is not the person you saw 4 months ago. I'm an absolutely transformed person and I get better every single day. And it's just such a great feeling to see myself aligning more and more with the person that I want to be. And it's like I can only say these things so many times before you actually just have to go do it yourself. Like I can only tell you how emotionally clear I feel right now, how driven I feel, how purposeful I feel right now. So many times, like it's just who you want to be is a separation from you fixating on the idea and fixating on the idea from the end, fixating on the idea that you already have it. Like the only thing separating you from that goal is you thinking about it a lot. You imagining yourself in that a lot. You imagining yourself already having it in every single scenario, in every single way. Your friends are congratulating you. All of these things are happening and going over this again and again and again and again and again in your mind. And you just, at a certain point, your mind just relents. And at a certain point, everything begins to fall into place.
into the subconscious and convince yourself consciously of this, the simulation has to reflect that back to you. It has to give you everything that you believe and consent to being true based on this new concept of self that you've created. And I'll give you a really good example of this with my own success growing my brand and my YouTube channel. Okay, I was about maybe 1,000 subscribers when I started to do this. Okay, I was starting to get momentum, but it was kind of not really growing to a really, really fast level right away. So I went into a flow state where I took 10 deep breaths, where I'm still conscious, but I was in a state where I was disassociated with the three-dimensional simulation. Okay, I would
All a flow state is the idea of no mind. This is a Buddhist Taoist idea. And the idea is that nothing's in your head. Like everything you know is right below the surface waiting for you to access it, but you don't have any active thoughts. You're in pure consciousness. Your unconscious and conscious are balanced and everything is just calm. And think of the games where you just something else was if possessing you, that's not the right word, but it wasn't it wasn't your normal performance. You weren't thinking, you were just acting. You were just performing. There was no pressure, there was no anxiety. You shot the ball, whatever sport it was, let's say it's basketball, you shot the ball and you just knew it was gonna go in. Every single fucking time. Every single time you touched the ball, you just knew what was gonna happen. It's that state, it's that idea. And it's really easy to get into a flow state when you start understanding meditation, understanding that a flow state is just meditation. And it's when you meditate before you do anything like that really inspires you, this is the best combination because for most of the videos I do, I literally just turn on the camera and talk from my heart. I literally just talk what I think is interesting, the things I want to bring you guys. And I'll tell you what, sometimes I don't have it. Sometimes I don't have the creativity. Sometimes I don't have the inspiration, but if I take 5, 10 minutes to just calm down my mind, calm down my heart, the words just come to me. And it's something that the more you practice, the better you get at it. And it's truly the thing that most people don't understand about flow state is you should be in a flow state all day long. That's our natural state. That's really how we should be. Only recently have we developed the need to be thinking all day, the need to be busy all day, the need to be doing stuff all day. Um, this is something that you'll see in Walden. Like the reason why Thoreau loved living out in the woods so much was because he could relax, because his mind was only occupied with the daily things. He wasn't worried about money. He wasn't worried about oh the rent, the electricity, this, that. Like he wasn't worried about anything except survival. He wasn't worried about anything except his daily chores. And he could just take in the beauty of nature. He could take in everything. And this is what led him to write such a great book, led him to write such great essays. It's simply the lack of pressure that makes everything flow. And it's the idea that like what's better, working extremely hard or working extremely smart? Using your creative faculties, using your faculties that Einstein, that Tesla, that Edison, that all of these people relied on for their ability to change the history books, or you're going to continue doing what you're doing. You know what I mean? Like creativity truly is the precursor to abundance. What's up, Patrick? How's everything, man? Are you feeling better? How was did you do the gratitude thing? Let me know how did that go? You better have stuck with it, man. If you didn't stick with it, I'm gonna be pissed off at you. Just know that. I like, ah, ah. Why are you thinking about that, man? I'm telling you, man, you're thinking too much about, first off, like if it, I'm not gonna say that like you need to go get help, but like if it's something that keeps persisting, like I'm like trust me, man, like there's professionals for a reason, and you should consider that if it's persisting. I'm not going to say that it's not wrong to feel despair sometimes, but like if you don't see hope, like you got to go see someone. Like that's really the only time I would say like people should go to therapy is when they don't see a way out, and it's varying things for different people. Yeah, if you're, I mean, I'm not gonna give you like a blank like. I'm just saying if it's something that keeps coming up, dude, like I, whatever hesitations you have, like your life's more important than um, you feeling bad about yourself. Like I'm telling you, dude, just try to think about the good things. There's something good in your life, I know, that you can cling on to. There is. There is. And the more the more you start to see these glimmers of hope, the more they begin to multiply. So long. I mean, dude, we all have things that we think we can't get over, but there's I think it was King Solomon. There's a story of King Solomon, and the gist of the story is I don't know if it's Solomon. It's someone from the Bible, but basically, this king, he's like, give me an item that will make a happy man sad and a sad man happy. And the guy that's tasked with this for years, he looks for this thing, and he finally returns, and he gives the king a ring, and the ring says, "This too shall pass." Everything subsides. Everything is yin yang. Everything goes up and down. And it's just persisting through those times when it feels like things aren't going to get better. That's that's what we have to do. I mean, I know this isn't what you want to hear. I know you want to continue to like wallow, but the truth is it gets better. It always gets better, man. It's never worth it. It's never worth it. Like there's people that jump off the San Francisco the Golden Gate Bridge and they survive, and they say the second they jumped was the second they began regretting it. Like there's literally zero reason to do it. There's a million reasons to keep going. And I'm telling you right now, man, like if you wake up this feeling the same way tomorrow, I want you to fucking call someone. I really do. Like this isn't something like if you're saying this to me, someone you don't personally know on a live stream, like I think it's something that we really need to take serious, and we really need to get you the proper help, man. And we're all rooting for you. We're all rooting for you. These thoughts are also not your own. You just identify with them, and that you become such a yes, yes. Like everything, like every thought you have is it's just something you cling on to. It's just something you hold your attention to. Like that's truly the secret to being happy is holding your attention to happy things, uplifting things. It's a lot easier said than done. Don't get me wrong. It's a lot easier said. Like it's not something that you can do instantly because most people are so negative their entire lives, and then they wonder why things don't feel right. Things aren't going to plan. Things aren't falling into place, and it's like whatever you put your attention to becomes multiplied. No, man, Patrick, just know that we're always here for you, man. We are, we are. Like my heart goes out to you right now, man. I feel like we've all been really down at some points, and it's I just want you to like. I know there's something in your life that makes you happy. Everyone has it, even if it's just the littlest thing. I want you to really feel that happiness right now. If you have a dog, just picture yourself petting that dog. Like maybe go give him a treat. Like you know what I mean? It's like we all have so many little things that make life worth it, and it's it's focusing on those things when we don't feel like we can keep going. It's always that deep breath we take when we're overwhelmed that makes everything worth it. Yeah, I again, I want to reiterate, like you gotta, you're in our prayers, man. You're in our prayers. That's all I'm gonna say. I know things are gonna go great for you. I know things are gonna work out for you. Um, right now, take out a piece of paper and write 10 things you're thankful for, and think about this for the rest of the night. It might not be a long lasting cure, but I promise you, it is going to uplift you. I promise you that the more you focus on the 10 things that mean the most to you in your life, the more it's going to seem worth it, man. Most of life is absolute nonsense. Most of life is absolute bullshit. Most jobs you do will bring you no meaning. But that doesn't mean that there's no meaning at all. That doesn't mean that the people that love you don't love you. That doesn't mean that that doesn't give any value. Like just because the systems that operate, just because these things that are going on in the world are unfair, doesn't mean the entire world is unfair. It used to be my belief that um, we're living on hell on earth. We're living in some sort of purgatory. But I was so wrong about this because it struck me one day that there's just way too much good in this world. There's just way too much love in this world for us to be living in hell on earth, man. So it's fuck you, Eddie. Yeah, Patrick, man, you gotta know Eddie has it worse than such an asshole. It's such an asshole thing to say. Dude, I had a friend. This is one of the funniest things over here. I had a friend, and I had like just torn my knee. Like I ripped my meniscus in half, basically, and I sprained my MCL, strained my LCL, and this dude is like, "Oh yeah, one time I was playing video games and my leg fell asleep, and then I peed on the floor," and I was like, "Fuck you." He was telling me like that was the equivalent. No, you're not bringing the energy down on the stream, man. Like I feel for you, man. I feel like we've all been there, and this is a good place to talk about these things because we're not judging you, man. We really aren't. Like it honestly, it's easier to ask for advice from strangers because they don't know you. They don't know you well enough to judge you. So this is a perfect place because I bet you there's people in your life that want to help you, that want to listen to you, but you don't want them to judge you as less. And just know that's not the case. Just know that anytime that you're extremely down, anytime you're thinking things like this, you can always go to the people in your life, man. You always can. They're always there to listen. And honestly, a lot of times when you're down in the dumps like this, all you need is someone to listen to you. All you need is someone to just shake their head and go, "That's fucked up," and you feel a whole lot better. Like it's sad to say, but that's really what a lot of it is. I'm judging myself. I'm not judging you. No, I know. It's just it's it's just like like there's a time to say things like that just didn't feel like the right time. I get you're trying to throw jokes in it though. It's good. A lot of times, like you can always break up hard conversations with jokes. This is something I see myself doing anytime the air in the room gets a little like stale, a little too serious. I always try to lighten up the mood because I don't really think there's a good reason to be serious. What can you say about the promised suffering ahead if I keep going? What's it all worth? I mean, God only gives his strongest soldiers the hardest lives. You're you're meant to experience hardships so that you can reach the mountaintop. If you didn't go through anything hard, if you didn't go through any challenges, if you didn't face these things and get stronger, then how are you going to appreciate things when they fall into place? How are you going to appreciate things when they become whole again? When things become perfect? Like if you're happy every single day, what that means is you don't appreciate it. You don't grasp the depth of it because every sorrow deepens joy. Like the more unhappiness you feel, the more you can be gracious for the good times. Like it's a very weird idea that we need to be happy at all times. It's a very weird idea that things always need to go to plan. Like you need a little chaos in life because chaos is the catalyst for all growth. What you're going through right now, it might fucking suck. It might be terrible. There's always a little light at the end of the tunnel, and you just have to keep following it. You just have to keep going. I mean, it doesn't like it sounds like non-advice, but it's the only advice that you need. It's the only advice that's going to work. I was on Hell on Earth 4 years ago. My life completely turned around since then. This isn't a brag. Yeah, yeah, yeah. If you told me that 4 years ago, I would have scoffed. Yeah, yeah. I mean, the thing is, it's like whatever you're going through right now, you deserve. And it's not like a bad thing. It's just like you deserve it because you're meant to overcome it. And once you overcome it, then you get faced with something harder. And your problems, like life doesn't get easier, you just get stronger. Your problems will eventually just keep getting more significant, but you get better and better and better and better. Like, and don't you want to see how good you can become? Don't you want to see how many things you can face? Don't you want to learn everything there is to to learn about life. Like, do you want to live your life in fear of things? Do you want to live your life not knowing if you could have done something? Like, I don't know about you, but when I go out, I don't want to leave any stone unturned. I don't want to be that one dude that like peaked in high school that's like, yeah, if this coach just played me a little more, I would have been a pro. I would have been like, that's not how I want to live. And it's understanding this principle and understanding that not everything's going to go to plan. Not everything's going to work. Things have to go wrong thousands of times before they work out. But guess what? You learn 1,000 new things. I mean, when Edison failed creating the light bulb 10,000 times, you know what he said? He said, I didn't fail. I learned 10,000 ways not to create a light bulb. Like, it's like you have to flip the script on whatever it is that's going wrong for you, man. Like, I don't know if it's a breakup. Like when you get a breakup, that means that you have the opportunity to do tremendous work on yourself. The pain, the anguish, the feelings, the emotions you have right now, dude, you're going to be so introspective for the next 3 months. You can purify your entire soul with that inspiration. Like you can do so much great work. You can use that energy to go to the gym. You could use that energy to create it. Like I'm telling you, like the things that break us up the most are also the things that can build us up the most. The more anguish, the more pain you go through, the better you can become. What's a movie where the hero doesn't fail? What's a movie where the hero doesn't lose? You know what I mean? It's like half the reason why Superman isn't as popular as he used to be is because it gets boring. You know he's gonna win. You know then nothing can harm him. He's always gonna come out in the better. And that's why this is boring. That's why Batman's the best fucking character ever, because the dude has no superpowers and he has to fight gods. Like he's not meant to win, but he does it anyway. It's like that could be you. You could be the superhero of your own story. You could be the person that does something that no one else has even imagined possible, and you just have to keep going. It's really that simple. It isn't a breakup. I mean, it doesn't even matter if it's a breakup or not, though, because the example's the same. Like whatever's happening, man, it's just overthinking and fixating on the wrong thing. Happiness and sadness are two siblings, twins who remain small together, grow together. Yes. Eat the Costco chicken bakes. Yes, yes. Yes, live your life by a Little Wayne quote. I think that's the way to do it. But Patrick, I'm serious right now. I want you to write down 10 things if you haven't done it already. Have you ever had the feeling of being in the present, but being disappointed with everything you do? You're not in the present then. In the present moment, there's no thoughts. In the present moment, there's nothing. You're lingering in the past. You didn't overestimate your potential. Look, man, the, what do goals do in the end? What does ambition do in the end? Like, whatever it is that you're trying to do, I promise you that just based off the way you're speaking right now, it wouldn't have made you happy. It wouldn't have filled that void. What you need to do right now is soul searching. It's not like you're attaching it to some external desire, you're attaching it to something external. It's all internal. There's a lack of self-worth, there's a lack of knowing who you are, and this is why you're upset. It's not that you didn't reach your potential. Hell, I didn't fucking reach my potential, and I'm happier than I ever could be. Like, I promise you, if I fail, everyone is going to be like, this guy had the greatest potential ever, and he made nothing of himself. But I'll still be happy. Like, stop putting what other people value you for. Stop putting what the external world values you for as the top priority. The top priority is you. I remember last time you were here, you were writing stuff. Last time you were here, you were expressing yourself. What if you didn't get any sort of fulfillment from the external world, but you wrote pages and pages and pages. You wrote entire books. You wrote memoirs. You wrote all of these things. Do you think that would make you happy? I'm pretty sure that would make you happier than whatever goal you missed, whatever thing you didn't accomplish. One of the greatest writers who ever lived died without any recognition. Franz Kafka died and nobody fucking knew his name. But on his deathbed, he wrote a story, and it was a summation of his entire life. And the story is it's the Hunger Artist. And basically, the story of the Hunger Artist is this guy starves himself, and this is his form of art. This is his form of expression, and it once used to draw tremendous crowds, but towards the end of the story, no one's even interested, and the artist just begins fasting, and he fasts for like 50 days and dies, and no one even noticed his triumph except for him. And this is the entire point of it. Like, you don't do things for other people, you do things for the satisfaction of yourself. Live for the satisfaction of yourself. Create for the satisfaction of yourself. It's very like warped how we're told to think. It's very warped how we're told to be happy. Happiness is simply liking yourself. Happiness is simply knowing yourself. Like, what good would it do you if you made billions of dollars but still did not like who you looked in the mirror, like who you saw in the mirror? Why do you think Bezos is on steroids? Like, Bezos has deep insecurities. I would not trade places with Bezos for the fucking world, because you could give me all that money, but you can also give me all those problems. I'm not taking them. I have zero issues in my life. Nothing bothers me. Yeah, I have a little bit of things I have to worry about, but like, the vast majority of my life is perfect because I love myself, man. Like, I need you to stop associating every value, like every part of your worth is not how society values you. It's how you value yourself, man. You know what I mean? And it's like, how do we find this? How do we find the self-worth? How do we find these things? It's as simple as finding creativity, doing things you like every day. Like, I don't know what you like. Maybe it's writing. I remember last time you were writing stuff. I don't know you well enough to say these things, but like, do what the fuck you want to do. Do what the fuck you want to do. Find a creative outlet. Find something to express yourself. Start drawing. Start painting. Start jujitsu. Start martial arts. Start anything to give you an outlet that inspires you, that you can grow with, that you can get better at. And it's not like you have to go out and become a world champion. It's not like you have to go out and fight every single weekend. It's you have to express yourself. And you got to forgive yourself. Yeah, you got to forgive others and forgive yourself. The big thing with a lot of trauma, and this is not to say that like I'm not downplaying trauma. I'm not saying anything about that. Yeah, when you make mistakes, go easy on yourself. Yes, yes. That's a perfect way of putting it. I was going to explain something else, but when you when someone does something bad to you, um, you have to forgive that other person. You have to understand that the other person is is somewhat flawed, but their intentions were good. Like, they were caught up in rage, but through their perspective, what they did was right. Through their perspective, they were completely justified. Even if it's completely opposite, even if your worldview, even if the way you saw it was completely wrong, somewhere along the line, and a person hurt this person, and then this person hurt you. Like, a lot of the stuff that happens to us is secondhand issues, secondhand trauma that people are taking out on us. There's a part in the book, The Four Agreements, which basically states, don't take anything personally. And this is because everyone has unresolved issues that they're bringing to the table. Everyone has unresolved things that they're taking out on you. And the moment you can forgive others for harming you is the moment you can forgive yourself. The moment you can drop all of the judgments, the anger, the anxiety, the hatred, the lack of you achieving anything. Dude, I promise you, you have so much time. You have the rest of your life to achieve stuff. It's okay. Like, the more you fixate on the idea that you're a failure, the more you fixate on the idea that you didn't live up to your potential, the more you're confirming it, the more you're solidifying it. Whereas look back at the progress you've made. Look back at the things you've done. Look at the things you've tried. Look at the lessons you've learned. You're so much fucking closer, dude. You're so much fucking closer than you ever imagined. Yeah, man. I mean, I'm really trying here. I'm like, I know what you're going through. I don't know the specifics, but I know what you're feeling, man. I know what you're feeling. Like it's really, it's really difficult for me to put into words everything that I just said. And the thing is, what I said I understand perfectly, but the words I said, they're not something you've lived. They're not something that you've come out on the other side of. So it's not going to make sense. But I promise you, dude, if you just keep your head up and push through, every fucking word I just said is going to ring true. Every word I said is going to just become perfectly clear one day. Perfectly clear at some point. And it's something I need you to just have faith in. Something I need you to believe in. Like, if you've never believed in anything, believe in this. Believe in the idea that it gets better. Believe in the idea that it all makes sense one day. Believe in the idea that the universe works on such a grand scale that you don't see the purpose and the meaning in things, but one day it comes around. Everything in the universe is yin yang. Everything in the universe eventually settles itself out right now. And we all go through bad stuff. You're going through your bad stuff now. Be happy it's happening to you early so that tragedy doesn't strike you later on in life, man. But that's all the part of living, sir. You're not living, you're just waiting for things to go bad again. Yes. Yes. All right, we'll go over Taoism. I think this will help a lot. Taoism is like my favorite philosophy. Or maybe chakra balancing. Mm, I think my video shows up. Okay, hopefully this is good.
Without knowing it, you have made thousands of agreements with yourself, your partner, your parents, society, God, and so on. These agreements are based on your beliefs, the beliefs which have been taught to you since you were a young child. However, these agreements are not always beneficial and can cause pain and fear. For example, you might feel like you need to work hard at a job you're not passionate about because you have been taught to be independent and make a living for yourself. The laws or social agreements that society imposes on us domesticate us.
Every facet of society takes something from you. Every facet of society in some way restricts you in some way, takes away your individuality. And it's about compensating for this in the rest of your life. Finding time each day to spend with yourself, finding time for silence, finding time to be alone with your own thoughts and be happy. I mean, when you can learn to be happy with your own thoughts, then you can learn to be happy anywhere. And that goes for everything. Meditation, mindfulness, what is it? Visualization. I guess I visualize and meditate. But all of these things are going to help you so much. And Patrick, the next time you're upset and uh, you can do this, obviously, I don't want you to like be at your job and just leave for an hour, but like the next time you have time and you see yourself in your own head, go for a walk, man. Go for a walk and try to tell yourself every single thing about your neighborhood. Look for details that you haven't noticed. Look for the architecture of the houses. Look at the street lights. Look at the street signs. Look at all these things. Try to observe every single thing about your surroundings. Lose yourself in nature. Lose yourself in your surroundings. And by the time you come back, I promise you, you're going to be smiling. You're going to be happy. You're going to be at peace.
Into abiding by the social standards without questioning why? merely trusting that our parents, teachers, and friends have rightly taught us what is good and evil and what is right and wrong. The Four Agreements, written by Don Miguel, offers a solution. This book is truly a guide for freedom and happiness. It emphasizes that you should stop holding on to your negative and limiting beliefs. Instead, it offers you four life-changing agreements to live by that stem from the Toltec, a tribe of indigenous people from Mexico who preceded the Aztecs. So without further
They were like a shamanic tribe.
ado, let's get straight into the four agreements. The first agreement:
We'll go to Taoism after this.
be
I want to go to
impeccable
this
with your
first.
word. Words are how we create our reality. Our internal view of the world is shaped by the way we speak to ourselves. That's why you should never use harmful, negative words towards yourself or other people. This
I don't want you to, all I want you to do is every time you're overwhelmed, don't think of it as meditating. Think of it as deep breaths. And when you're doing it, what I want you to do is if you have a thought, let it pass through your mind. Don't linger on it, don't fix it on it. So like it's not bad to you don't like the streets of Germany when going on a walk. Can you could stare at a wall and start doing it. Like that sucks a lot more. Um I'm sure you could find somewhere like a mall or something. There's probably somewhere safe to do that. You can't call yourself a fat. I mean you can. It's well, think about it this way. Words are just images in our mind, and what these images mean could be bad things. So like for someone that struggled with weight their whole life, the word fat ass is probably such a negative context that they shouldn't use it. If I call myself a fat ass, it's just like a joke. There's no emotion associated with it, so it doesn't matter. It doesn't mean anything. It's all the meaning you give to the words, and everyone kind of has symbolic representations in their mind that mean different things that bring certain moods, that create certain states of consciousness, that alter the way you're feeling in a certain way. So I think this is linguistics. I think that's their semantics.
means that you must refrain from placing blame or passing judgment. Most of us have been taught to constantly carry an inner judge with us who is critical of everything and everyone, and we are the most frequent victims of this judgment. When we continuously criticize and blame ourselves, we are mentally going against ourselves. So always be aware of the influence your words carry on, both yourself and others. We might not even realize that we have this inner judge. Put this to
This is the idea that any any external judgments are really misplaced internal ones. So if you have the time and you find yourself insulting a lot of people, judging a lot of people, let's say you judge someone for their looks. Let's say you're saying this person looks weird. What it could be is some insecurity about your looks, whether it's you're losing your hair, whether it's you don't think you're as attractive as other people think you are, or you're you're not attractive at all, so you have to bring other people down. Like no healthy conscious, no healthy person, no healthy individual is going to need to bring others down to bring themselves up. So that this is this idea, and it's like when you're judging others, like it should be, it's never from a righteous place.
the test. Be mindful of your thoughts and words towards yourself for a whole day. Write some of them down. What's the overall pattern? Do you praise yourself when you do a good job? Or do you put yourself and maybe others down? No one has ever mistreated you more during your life than you have mistreated yourself. And the maximum
Patrick, did you hear that? No one has ever mistreated you more in your life than yourself. That's that's a quote. That's something you should linger on. Should I do plastic surgery? My looks have been debilitated in a fight. I mean, your nooks, your nose. I mean, I just, dude, do what's gonna make you happy, okay? Like, if you think it's going to improve your quality of life, then do it. That's all. That's literally the only thing I want people to live by. Like, I must have heard a million fucking times at this point. oh, you should go to Turkey and get a hair transplant. Like it has no effect on my life. If anything, it would make my life worse because I have to go spend all that money and go through the recovery. Like it doesn't mean anything to me. And it's like, if you think it's going to make that positive effect on your life, then do it, man. If that's something you fixate on, if that's something you can't get over, do it. Yes, plastic surgery for damages of disease. Yeah, I mean, it's not as bad as a guy that like doesn't like how he looks and gets it. Like if it's to reconstruct something that was wrong and it bothers you, like yeah, man, do it. Like Patrick, I want you to be happy, man. Like if you have to ask me if you should do something that will make you happy, that's you know what I mean? It's like live your life for you, man. Live your life for you. Like when I do something that I'm hot without hair, I hope you're a girl. My girlfriend just looked at me. What? It would be weird if. All right, she still didn't like that. You mad at me now? Wow, that's crazy. Um, but yeah, man, just like it's you shouldn't think twice if it's going to improve your quality of life. Like you shouldn't feel guilty for doing something that's going to bring enjoyment, bring enthusiasm, because the baseline level of everything is you you can't give back to the world. You can't be of service to the world unless you help yourself first. I know we all want to be valuable. I know we all want to be loved. I know we all want to be accepted. But the truth is, until you're 1,000% okay with yourself, you're no good to the world because you're just spreading more discontent. You're spreading more anger, more rage, more hate. Like purify yourself so that you can purify the world. It's not the other way around. Purifying the world does nothing for the individual. I mean, look at any totalitarian regime. I mean, look at there's a huge movement for a Christian nation. Like, do you think these things are going to purify anything, or do you think it's going to become like the new Inquisition? Do you think great ideas that advance society are going to get swept under the rug like they used to? Do you think they're going to have to steep, certain beliefs in allegory like they did alchemy? Alchemy is literally just soul purification, but it had to be buried. It had to be put in the form of the transmutation of lead into gold and made symbolic so that these people who were trying to make their own lives better and spread wisdom that came from ancient Egypt, they were trying to spread things that could make your life better like that, like some great ancient knowledge. And they had to steep it in allegory because the powers that be did not want their power and authority to be questioned. And that's the issue, man. Like too much is focused on the external world. Focus on the internal world and everything else will follow. As above, so below. As within, so without. When you fix what's below the surface, that gets brought out to the light, man.
Maximum level of abuse you will tolerate from others is the same as you would tolerate from yourself. You will likely move away from someone if they mistreat you somewhat more than you mistreat yourself. However, if the abuser treats you somewhat less harshly than you treat yourself, you'll probably continue to tolerate their treatment indefinitely. Instead of hating, judging, and blaming, use words of love and support. When you express positive words towards yourself, you will soon find that your life will be directed towards positivity as well. So take care of yourself with your words, because they represent your inner thoughts. You may still be accountable for your choices once you stop judging yourself, but this time from a place of self love. The second agreement: don't take anything personally. Being domesticated by society contributes to the trap of personal.
If you really want to brute force your way to happiness, fall asleep saying the statement, I am happy and feel it. Feel what it would be like if everything was going to plan. Feel what it would be like if everything was going right. You can also ask yourself questions. You could say, how would it feel if I had $1 million? How would it feel if my family was taken care of? How would it feel like if I got everything accomplished that I wish to have accomplished? And start falling asleep in this state, and you're going to wake up just that much better. Sometimes it can cause drastic jumps. Sometimes you can jump out of bed and feel like everything is perfect. But a lot of the times it's just these slow incremental changes, these slow state changes in state of consciousness that go such a long way to our fulfillment, such a long way to making our lives better.
Importance. Most people are focused on themselves most of the time. How do I look? What do they think about me? Why does the teacher always pick on me? Why does my manager never give me credit?
Think of think of these ideas in the context of like a TV station. Right now you're on a TV station that you don't like. It shows the worst fucking TV shows ever. You're watching Friends right now, okay? You're watching a marathon of Friends and you're wondering why you're angry, unhappy, and you're just pissed off. You can change the frequency, you can change the station. You could change what thing you're focusing on, what thing you're paying attention to. You can change the stimulus. That's what you have to do. Your thoughts are the precursor to everything. Your emotions are followed by your thoughts. So first start with your thoughts. First start with the ideas that you want to accept about yourself, the things that you want to put into this world, instead of the things that everyone's telling you to do. What are you laughing at? The Friends? Friends is the worst show I've ever seen. I've never laughed once. Like I've watched probably like 20 episodes of Friends in my life, and I have not laughed once. There's a hilarious story of Norm Macdonald meeting Matthew Perry for SNL, and like one of Matthew Perry, he thought he listened to sarcasm. My chat just got disconnected. Can you guys see me? Honestly, I don't entirely believe it. Can you make it more rigid logically to me? You're that type of person. You don't believe what? All right. The thing is, half the reason why you're the way you are is because you're so logical, man. Like that's a lot of the reason. Look towards any friends of dog word, yeah. Look towards any sort of great accomplishment that has ever been done. Was it ever done out of pure logic, pure reason? Was it ever done from anything that can be explained? How did Tesla create his inventions? How did he do things that still confuse scientists to this day? We have supercomputers that can basically do calculations so complex that you can't imagine, yet they can't do the same things as Tesla can. They don't have the same source. They don't have the same inspiration. And what I'm talking about is the human soul, the human consciousness, the human psyche. Even if you're not religious, there's a layer and a depth to consciousness that is so powerful that when you tap into it, everything gets solved. Every question, everything you could ever desire, whatever it is that you're looking for, you can find it in yourself. And it's the idea of faith, it's the idea of hope. Look at anything by Michelangelo, anything by Da Vinci. Is that everything has rules? There's not a rule without an exception. There's not a crime without a defense. Every single rule has an exception. You can be that exception. You know what I mean? It's like there's a well-known this is honestly one of Jung's best contributions to the ideas of science that if you take 50 rocks and measure them, whether it's weight, whether it's size, it's you could take the average, but that doesn't mean any single rock is going to be that average weight, that average size. Finding the best way to play the rules of the game. No. Dude, we all have like divine gifts inside of us. It's just most people never tap into it. Like you're telling me that if you worked as hard as Michael Jordan, you would be Michael Jordan. Athleticism aside, like Larry Bird wasn't that athletic. Let's say you're the same size as Larry Bird, you work as much as him, that's not just talent. That's creativity, that's flow state, that's all of these things that we can't even comprehend. I mean like to look at things and say we can quantify things is to deny like the existence of string theory and quantum physics. Like these are fields that have been studied, billions and billions and billions of dollars have gone into research these things, and the more we study them, the less we understand them. There used to be like a veneration for the unknown. There used to be a respect and almost a sense of awe. And back in the day, like when when we would think about things such as creation, we would think of things such as the beginning of time and all of these things. Like we didn't try to solve these things. We didn't try to quantify these things because we knew that we would never have any answers. And that's like the whole point of life. Like some things aren't going to be answered. Some things we'll never figure out. Some things will never make sense, and you just have to be like, all right, it is what it is. But like when considering things like these, you have to consider every past action of the individual which influenced them. I mean, yeah, but there's also people that failed their entire lives, and then in the blink of an eye, everything started to go right. Like, what was that aside from hope? What was that aside from faith? What was that aside from them making a conscious decision to change these things? I'm telling you, man, the more you get wrapped up in this deterministic theory, the idea that everything is set in stone, the more hopelessness you find. I mean, this is the entire idea of atheism. I think it's very hard to be a happy atheist. I think you could be a happy agnostic, but I don't think you could be a happy atheist because human beings can only aspire to be their highest ideal. They can only achieve what they hold highest. And if we believe that something created the universe, if we believe that there's something so powerful that it put us all here and it put us here for a reason, then you get works like the Sistine Chapel. You get works like the Mona Lisa. You get beautiful works of art because it's divinely inspired. Go on TV nowadays. It's written by a lot of people who don't believe in anything. And that's why it's filth. That's why it's crap. Like you read Dostoevsky, maybe he had his issues with God, but that you find that on the paper. Even Camus has elements of faith. Even Camus has elements of spirituality. Same thing with Nietzsche. Nietzsche has like a weird relationship with God, but I feel like it's there. I feel like Nietzsche believed in some order, some chaos, some force that was outside of humanity. Like it's very weird to me that we don't at least believe in something greater for the sake of achievement, for the sake of betterment. I don't know, it's weird to me. But yeah, what am I streaming for? I'm like starting to lose my voice. Um, before I go, Patrick, I just want to everybody has a feeling towards the higher that's somewhere but never there. What? Doesn't make any sense. It's a universal feeling that yeah, yeah. It's like pantheism or something. Um, but before I go, I just want you to just keep your head up, man. Like, don't don't just do it for yourself. Do it for me. Do it for all of us in chat. Do it for all of us that want to see you become all you can be, man. Because you might not think that there's hope, but we all think there's hope. We all think that things are going to get better, man. If you continue to feel this way, man, I'm telling you. You said Germany, there. I promise you, there's resources there that want to help you. I promise that there's people there that are willing to sit down with you for however long it takes until you no longer feel this way, man. And it's something that might suck for today, might suck for a year, might suck for 10 years. But there's always hope. There's always something good to cling on to and cling on to that, man. Probably not for free. Who cares? Who cares if it's free or not, man? Your life is worth whatever money it takes. Do you think Warren Buffett wouldn't give all of his money to be you. Warren Buffett has all the money in the world, but he doesn't have what you have. You have time. You have youth. It's the most beautiful thing, man. I'm telling you. Yeah, try your best, man. Try your best. I'm telling you, man. Just did you write down the things that you love? Do you write down the things that are making you happy? I'm not going to end the stream until you do that. Write down, like, we can shorten it to five. If you can only think of five, write down something. Write down something that brings you joy. Write down something that lifts you up, man. That's what I'm saying. I can tell you didn't do it because your attitude hasn't changed. I want you to write down this list and read it as much as you possibly can. Read it as much as you possibly can. The more you focus on these things that are going right, the more they're going to mean. Friends better not be on your top 10. Yes, I agree with that. Went through a breakup a month ago. We were together for 2 years, and my mind was in dark places. Yes, yes. The show, yeah. I knew what you meant. I knew what you meant. That's actually hilarious. Way to bring things full circle. See, we're all here waiting. How about how about you share? Don't make them too personal because I want you to share them here, and we're gonna talk about it. Okay? Just say like a few things, man. Like I really want you to send this to chat. I don't if you're in my Discord, you can send it to me as well on Discord, but I need it right now. Like I'm telling you, I need you to do this. I really do. Can you try tomorrow? No. Do it now. I'm telling you, dude, you have to do this right now. Like this is part of the issue, man. At the moment, I'm grateful to you. So you have one thing. We need four other things. Okay? It could be a band. Could be a movie. Could be a book. Could be a song. Could be a tree you like. It could be a house. It could be your mom. It could be your dad. It could be anything. Anything. Just name them right now. You need four more things, man. I'm telling you. I'm waiting to end this stream until you give me four more things. We will sit here all fucking night. Okay? Grateful for going to work and being able to pay the bills. Okay, we got two. We got two. There's a lot of people that can't do that, man. There's a lot of people that would give the world to have your job. There's a lot of people in a lot of poor countries that can't even imagine the money you're getting right now, right? You got two. You got two. And after you're done with this, too, I want you to write it down on a piece of paper and carry, if you have a wallet, if you have a bag, carry it with you and look at it as much as you can. Okay. I know this sounds silly. I know this is like something you read in a self-help book that you never do. Because I'll tell you, I've read a lot of self-help books that um, say to do stuff like this. I never do it. But this is different, man. Like this is a serious time, and we really need to focus on these things. Okay. We really need to focus on the good. Like we got to be militaristic about it. We have to be aggressive about it. We have to be brute force, sheer willpower about it. Okay, that's how we need to approach this issue. All right, three more, three more. Only negative stuff comes to mind. This is the issue, though, man. Okay, you see the point, but like you see what I'm saying, right? Like if you asked me to name five things or name anything that I'm thankful, I could go on for hours. I can't. Like it seems like such a simple thing, but if you can't even say things that make you happy, then like there's a clear issue. Deftones or Nirvana. Yeah, I like Nirvana. So we got three. We have two bands. I'm not counting that for more than two or two more. I would play music, but it would get copyrighted instantly. Right? Does music get copyrighted? I don't know how it works with music on streams. It might just be I can't replay it. I have no idea. So we got three. You're happy for me. You're happy for your job, being able to pay the bills, and you're happy for Nirvana or Deftones. Perfect. Perfect. You're at four. You're at four. You just need one more, man. You just need one more. Are there any people in your life that you're thankful for? Is there anyone that you talk to and they always make you happy? They always check up on you. They're always there for you. Um, Sometimes it feels like we don't have those people, but they're always there. You know what I mean? Like this was something that I dealt with my entire life. There was always people that were willing to help me, but I didn't think they were. And the truth is, like, you don't have to know people. You don't like you don't have to think that there aren't like fuck. Why can't I speak? You might not think that there's people that are willing to help you, but they are. You don't have to know them for a while, but they're still willing to help. Like some of my friends, like there was never a stage where we weren't close friends. Like even if I just met these people, like I know that there's something there. Try to keep the connections really futile. Man, it's we lose friends though. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Okay. I'm telling you though, like it's it's probably like when you're out in public, do you like talk to people? Like I'm not saying like go up and like bold approach, but like if you're at the supermarket and you're checking out, like do you have a conversation with people, small talk, stuff like that? Like those are some of the best times of the day. I had like a 10-minute conversation today at Whole Foods about football. I don't give a fuck about football. I really don't. The Eagles in the Super Bowl, I was wearing an Eagles sweatshirt. I wasn't like, I don't fucking care about football. I just talked to the guy for about random things for like 10 minutes while we are checking me out. He's like, have a great, like, you know what I mean? It's like little things like that could give you the spark that you need for opening conversations. Yeah. I'm just saying, like, if you just find old people in public, they always love to talk. No one wants to listen to old people talk. So most of the time, if you just start a conversation, they will not shut the fuck up. It's so funny. I love talking to old people because they're always from a different time period, and it really puts things in context because a lot of the issues that you're facing today, they also face. I think if they got through it, then you can as well. One more thing, Patrick. One more thing, and then we'll end the stream. And then I'll give you a few things to do. I'll give you some homework, um, things that you have to do. One more thing, man. One more thing. All right. And really, the things I just want you to do is one, if the things get worse, if the things can like if you continue to have these thoughts, man, go get help. Okay. Like the moment you don't think you can keep going, you need to call someone. You need to go see someone. You need to tell someone. Okay. Like that's a promise you have to make me. And then there's I'm grateful for making me do this and having the patience to listen. Yes. Okay. I'm not going to count that. You need one more. I know I'm being a dick, but like, I really want you to have five things. Okay. And it's not just to hit the arbitrary number. It's because I want you to know that there's more than just one reason. You know what I mean? Like, I promise you, like, if I knew you, I could tell you 1,000 things that are going right in your life. But I need you to start recognizing these things for yourself because until you recognize these things for yourself, you're not going to you're not going to just hone in on that. Okay? Like I can tell you a billion things going wrong in my life. I can. I can tell you all the people putting pressure on me, all the things I need to do, all the deadlines I'm missing, the things that are stressing me out. but I don't like it's not my main concern. It's not my main focus. Maybe it's not smart to do that, but it makes me way happier, okay? Like right now we got to get rid of all this responsibility. Right now we got to stop being so hard on ourselves and we got to take a breath. We got to take a step back from life and look at what we're doing. Look at where we're putting ourselves. Look at the things we're forcing upon ourselves, man. You're grateful for your mother? You got five. Transcendental meditation and theta healing? Yes. Yes. Yeah, frequencies is a great way to do it. Do you listen to a lot of music that's like, I guess Nirvana is a little depressing. It's not really that bad. So Nirvana is just like it's not like super. No, 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 no. Yeah, I know you're not trying to seem like. Yeah, yeah. No, I know exactly, man. The thing about mothers, my mother loves me more than I could ever love her. I'm a very loving person. I spend most of the day balancing my heart chakra, and my mother still loves me more than I could ever love her. Okay? Like I came from her. She carried me with her for 9 months. Like even before like my soul went into my body, my mother was carrying me around. Even before I looked like a human being, my mother loved me. Okay? Like that's you can't you can't replace that bond. And like it almost brings a tear to my eye to say it in this way, but it it's just I don't know. It's like it's one of the most inspiring things about humanity is the genuine love a mother has for a kid. Just the purity and like there's only I mean there's a few people that I would take a bullet for, but my mother's one of them. She is, man. And it's like any for the rest of my life I will try and fail to love her as much as she loves me, man. Bino, I love you more than your mother does. I don't think so. Yes, yeah, man. And it sucks, man, but it's it is what it is, man. And just know that no matter what you do, no matter how little or how much you accomplish, she'll love you the same. She's proud of you already. You know what I mean? You don't have to do anything to earn a mother's love. Now, to earn someone else's love, you have to do a lot of things, but to earn a mother's love, all you gotta do is breathe. All you gotta do is be there. All you gotta do is have the same eyes that she looked upon the first time you were born, and she's still there. But yeah, the homework that I want you to do is these are the requirements, and I'll give you a few more suggestions. I want you to write down all of the five things from this chat that you said you are thankful for. Write down all of these things. Tell your girlfriend I'm a man, so she shouldn't worry. She like rolled her eyes. What? Okay. That's all this attitude coming from. But so write down the five things on a piece of paper. Could be a small piece of paper, could be a big piece of paper, but I want you to carry this with you. And anytime you start feeling negative, anytime you start feeling down, read this. Even when you're not feeling negative, even when you have just a second to be to yourself, take out this list and read it, okay? And we'll go through the five things again so you have no excuse not to do this. All right. Thankful for me, thankful for going to work and being able to pay the bills, thankful for Deftones or Nirvana. We'll say Deftones and Nirvana. Grateful to people that create beautiful art and that art that expands my mind and knowledge. And grateful for your mother. Write down these five things, man. Carry this list with you, okay? The other thing is, if at any moment you don't think you can keep going, I know you're strong enough to keep going, but even if that thought is like something's gonna happen, I need you to call someone first, okay? Before anything bad, you gotta call someone, okay? Like I can tell you just want to be heard, I can tell this is just something that you need to get through, and I can tell you're a beautiful soul. And it's like whatever happens, man, you're going to get through it. Things are going to get better, okay? You give me another homework besides it? Yeah, yeah. Continue to write. Write something every day. If you want to send it to me, you can send it to me. If you want to keep it to yourself, keep it to yourself. But find creative outlet, find creative expression. I don't care if you have to do fucking coloring books. Do fucking coloring books, okay? You need to be creative. You need to express yourself. There's a part of your soul that is going unnourished. There's a part of your soul that is withering away, that is dying. And that's why you feel the way you feel right now, man. You're not allowing yourself to be free. You're not allowing every aspect of yourself to be expressed. Express yourself, man. Express yourself. Should we play the NWA song? Do you want another one? Let me think of another one. Do you work out? Do you go to the gym? Because the last thing I'll say is do something physical every day, okay? Because we're we're talking a lot about spiritual things, we're talking a lot about mental things, but we didn't mention physical. You're a being that exists in three aspects. You're a being that is physical, mental, and spiritual. You need to fulfill all of these all of these aspects of yourself, and you need to challenge yourself in all of these aspects. So the reason why a lot of people are unhappy is because their job isn't mentally stimulating. A lot of reason why people are unhappy is because their soul doesn't continue to elevate. You know, they go to church and they have the exact same sermons. They don't seek out more wisdom. They don't seek out more knowledge. They don't seek out the allegorical interpretations of the Bible or the allegorical interpretations of the Torah or Sufism if you're a Muslim. Like it's all of these things. Go to the gym for about 2 years consistent. Change up your gym routine, okay? Because I want you to break out of your routine. It doesn't have to be like you do different exercises. It could be you do different exercises. It could be you start trying to max your deadlift or you start cutting or you change your split. Like something I would do is I like when I feel stagnant in my gym progress, I change my gym. So changing my gym just changes my environment and it forces me to create new habits because I have to find a new way to work out this certain muscle group because this machine's not here or whoa, these squat racks are always taken, so I have to do something else. You know what I mean? Like change up your routine just a little bit. Like you can do this in your other daily activities too. Like if you're let's say you're eating too much junk food. A lot of your feelings is because of poor diet, poor food. So like if you just got processed junk food, just take it out of your drawers, take it out of your fridge, throw it in the trash. Make it so that if you want potato chips, you go to the store. Like there's all these little things that you can do. Like all of these little decisions you make each day, like really add up over time. Okay, so it's like if you change one thing today that you continue with for the rest of your life, I think you're getting infinitesimally small increments of progress every single day. That's really going to add up over time. That's really going to make a difference over time. If you do that in 50 different categories, it's Dario, fuck you. If you do that in 50 different categories, god damn, you can't make me laugh when I'm saying something because I forget. If you make progress in 50 different categories, then it's going to make you that much better. Like you don't need to 10x one thing, you can 1% increase everything. No, wasn't blushing. Fuck you too, Patrick. Give you homework for not falling in love with you? I don't know. I'm not as smart off camera as I am on camera. I like I have to get in like flow states before I do this. So if you talk to me on a normal day, like a lot of times I don't have the same access to my collective unconscious, we'll say access to my creativity. A lot of the times, like my brain will just shut off. So, like I don't know. But yeah, Patrick, did I give you enough things to work on? I think I gave you a pretty good start. Again, feel free to contact me. Can I give you homework? Yeah, you can. Feel free to contact me. Feel free to talk to me, man, if you need to. As long as I'm not sleeping, I'll respond pretty quick. Um, it might be more difficult since it's you, you know? Yeah. There's no homework to fix that. I know. Not even Carl Young or Osho together could help you with that. I mean, Osho could, man. Osho basically said that um, at a certain point of spiritual development, you just become celibate because it's no longer, you no longer need any sort of physical fulfillment. So to try to create a totally original idea, I do that every day, man. I like write philosophy. I've written short stories. I do that a lot, man. Do you want to read my short stories? I think they're pretty good. You disagree with Osho about that? I mean, I don't know. You kind of just transcend it. It's alchemy. I don't know how you can disagree with that, but you would love to. Um, is your what's your name on Discord? Or just message me, just DM me. I'll send it to you. They're not very long, I don't think. They're not like they're not like story. They're like allegory basically. You know. Like most of them are inspired by the Book of Mir Dad or Khalil Gibran. That's true. Let's become monks together and retreat on a mountain temple. Um, no. I don't I don't necessarily agree with monks. So if you look into Taoism, they really weren't monks. They were just men of this world who weren't of the world. Yeah, just DM me, I'll send them to you. Um, yeah, stay in touch with me, Patrick. Keep your head up, man. Do all the things I said. I know you're gonna do great things, okay? Even if you don't believe that, I believe that, okay? We all believe that. We all have so much faith, so much hope in you. It's not just me saying this to say this. Like I genuinely like I feel it right here. This is my heart chakra. It's beating right, okay? It's pulsating. Like I can feel it, okay? That's not just me bullshitting, okay? I'll never retire. All right, with that, I'm gonna go. Thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you guys for sticking around. Thank you for listening to me, Patrick. I know it's hard, man. I know it is. But I just want you to know that you're not the only one that feels this way. And there's a certain point in our life when we all feel this way, and it sucks. It sucks. It does. But the best things will come out of this, okay? Some of the darkest moments bring the greatest resolutions. Good night, guys. I will see you in the next one. Peace out, guys. Okay.